All right, let's look at questions 5 and 6 on the front of our homework. You're asked to find both the length of the arc, so the arc length, and the area of the shaded sector. Leave your answer in terms of pi. So in question 5, the sector is the shaded one, and that's the arc we're going to find also. So what we need to think about first is what is the central angle? So if this is 180 degrees on this side, we can tell that's a semicircle. We did say anything that looks like a line, we can assume is a line. And then that leaves us 180 on the other side. If we subtract 72, we get 108. So this angle should be 108 degrees. All right, so when we go to find arc length, remember we're going to associate arc length, sorry, it's two words, I just wrote that close together, with circumference. So when I find the arc length, I'm going to set up my ratio, 108 degrees, oops, that was 180, 108, oh, it's Friday, okay, 108 degrees, I'm looking at the angle of my arc, and I'm going to compare that to my whole circle, which I know is 360 degrees. So now, when we talk about the length, I'm trying to figure out my arc length, but I know when I compare it to the entire circle that the circle is pi times diameter for circumference. So I'm going to need my circumference. And since I know my diameter is 10, my circumference is 10 pi. All right, so we're going to cross multiply. And when I do that, sorry, move my paper up. When I go to cross multiply, I get 108 times 10 pi equals 360 times x pi, or pi times x. It doesn't really matter what order you write those in. When I multiply 108 times 10, that's 1080 pi is equal to 360 x pi. I guess I wrote them different order this time. We can divide pi off on both sides just to simplify that. So now we have 1080 equals 360x. So now if I divide both sides by 360, I'm going to get my answer for x. So in my calculator, not that good, 1080 divided by 360 is 3. So 3 is my value of x, which means my arc length is 3 pi. So, I don't know, I'm going to write arc length equals 3 pi. All right, so my arc length is 3 pi. All right, so now we want to find the sector area, and we can essentially do the same thing, but now we need the area of our circle. We know area is pi times the radius squared, so my radius is 5, not 10, but 5, because if my diameter is 10, my radius is 5. So my area is 5 squared times pi, or 25 pi. So when I go to set up my proportion, I'm going to try to write smaller. I'm going to compare 108 to 360, and now I'm going to compare the unknown area to my area of 25 pi. So this is where I'm finding my area, over here. All right, I could cross multiply. So again, I'm going to get 360 times x times pi, or times pi times x, however you want to write that. And then I'm going to multiply 108 with 25 pi. And before anything gets too crazy, I'm just going to divide pi off both sides, cancel those pi's out. All right, so now I have 360x equals 108 times 25. In the calculator, I'm getting 2,700. And now I can divide both sides by 360. So 2,700 divided by 360 is 7.5. So if you remember what we said in class, instead of putting 7.5 pi, it would be better to go and hit math, enter, enter, and get 15 halves. Or hopefully you know that that's 15 halves. So really our area our sector area, I should say, is 15 pi over 2. That is the same as 7.5 pi.